All right. Hey, y'all. Two peoples, what's going on, two peoples? Happy Tuesday afternoon. What's going on with y'all? Hope y'all making it happen for yourself. That's what I hope. Hope you're making it happen for yourself. Okay, there we go. Hope y'all making it. Listen, come on up in here. This is the noonday lunch break live. Uh, where I give y'all a quick hour synopsis of what's going on in the narcissistic world. Hey, Queen Supreme, how are you? What's going on? Um, listen, uh, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy today, y'all. Some days y'all probably can't tell, but some days I'm up and some days I'm down. But the goal is to stay up, right? You can't let situations and circumstances uh, dictate your uh, happiness, right? Anyway, let me get this right here. Okay. All right. Okay. I like to see myself on everything, right? Anyway, child, y'all know we in the narcissist series. I dated the narcissist for 10 plus years. That right there in itself say too much right there. That say too much right there, right? Um, and so in my research, I found a lot of writings, a lot of information that I want to share with y'all. So as you know, a narcissist is a person with a narcissistic personality style. That's what they're calling it, right? It's characterized, and this is what I'm going to talk about today. Thank you, thank you. I feel, some days I feel like a nut and some days I don't, right? This is one of my favorites. This is one of my favorites, but I don't wear it every day because I go to work. I'm off today. So I said, okay, this is what we doing today. Hey, hey Eve, what's going on, Eve? So anyway, narcissist is characterized by lack of empathy or variable empathy. Empathy is the main one, and I'm gonna tell you why. This today we're talking about relationship as in a being in a relationship with a narcissist, right? The experts say you cannot. It is not healthy and it's not gonna work, right? And I'll get to that in a minute. Because of their lack of empathy. When you're in a relationship, it's about feelings. It's about love. It's about a whole bunch of other kind of feelings, right? They ain't got none of that. They ain't got that. It is when I tell y'all, and I go into details in my book, when I tell y'all how difficult it was, but it was overshadowed by the love bombing, how difficult it, because I didn't realize he didn't have empathy for a while, how difficult it is to be in a relationship with someone who don't have those type of emotions. They don't have those type of emotions. All that, even though we did a lot of cuddling and hugging and stuff like that, that was just surface stuff, right? But the you having a day, something's going on in your day, and you need your man to give you a hug and say, "Baby, it's gonna be all right." Now he may show you that it's gonna be all right, which is what he would say to me. Don't worry about I'm gonna say it in my way. Don't worry about me saying I love you. Watch what I do. I show you I love you. He would always say that I show you that I love you, right? You want to hear that, right? You want to feel that. You know what I'm saying? Um, you're not gonna get that. And like I said, it took me a long time before I realized that. Very long time on my brushstroke. It took a very long time before I realized that, right? He's he didn't show the empathy, you know. And I used to sit back and think like it has to be very hard because I'm a very emotional person. Whether it's good emotions or bad emotions, I'm an emotional person, right? I am an emotional creature. I require. This is another reason number 572 why I'm single. I require affection and attention from my man. I don't need attention from nobody else, but from my man, I need that. I need that. That's an absolute must. I must have that, right? Attention might be my love language if there's such a thing as that. But that's what I need from my man. I need attention and affection because I'm very affectionate, right? And I need it in return. Um, but it's covered up. It's masked by things that they do, right? So they say that of course, we know about entitlement, grandiosity, superficiality, egocentric. He was a very odd, different. Now, I ain't even gonna say odd, different kind of character. different, right? Um, their reactive sensitivity to criticism or feedback, right? They have envy of others. Now, I don't know if I necessarily saw envy, and I may have, but there was so much other stuff going on, right? They have rage at times of frustration, but I think because he was older, he didn't really rage out. He didn't really rage out because he was older and wiser, right? Uh, incapacity for and disinterest. Now, this is the main thing for me. Disinterest in deep, long-term, connected, intimate relationships. They're incapable of that. This is the person I was with, right? And he was caught in a quagmire because he was not used to being attached to someone, right? Hey, T, he was not used to being attached, like I told you. At his big age, I was the first person that he ever brought around his family, ever. He did not have attachments to people. Did not. He was more attached to his clothes and shoes than he was to a person, right? Um, a tendency to shift blame onto others and not take responsibility. Y'all know how frustrating it is. You trying to have a grown folk conversation with somebody, number one, who lacks empathy. They don't even feel what you're feeling. They don't even care that you're feeling what you're feeling. They don't even know what you're feeling, right? They lack empathy, and they lack empathy, and they do not take responsibility ever for the things they have done. You could tell them, "Hey, you hurt me." You could be crying. "You hurt me. I'm hurt. How do we resolve this? How can we fix this?" They don't know how to say that. They don't know how to answer that question, nor do they know how to give you a hug in your time of need. Will not do that. Do not know how to do that. Do y'all know how frustrating that is? Uh, they may say, "Here, well, let me, go to this, here, let me give you this $500. Let me give you this $100. Let me, what you need. It's going to intercede. It's going to intercept what you feeling with, let me give you this. Let me do this for you. Let me give you this," right? "Hey, Ed, what's going on, sis?" That's what they're going to do. They're going, in my case, there was no empathy. There was no, "Oh, baby, I'm sorry. Oh, I didn't mean to hurt you." Most men that cheat and do all the things, they can tell you they sorry, and they're going to do it. They're going to repeat it, right? Narcissists don't even say "I'm sorry" because they not. They don't even feel what you're feeling. They ain't looking at you crazy. I tell you that there's been a few times where I was in tears. I'm not going to sit here and act like I didn't never be in tears out of frustration or hurt behind him, right? Um, uh, as strong as I like to think that I am, and I thought that I was, dude, had bit me a few times, right? He didn't break me, but he bit me quite a few times, right? And in the reaction of, there's no, "Oh, I'm sorry," even if you tell a lie, that was not the reaction. It would be, I told you before, he would want to have sex. That turned him on. Right? Ain't none of that what you think you're gonna get. And so you are pampered with, "Here, let me go get you this. Remember that thing you wanted? Here, go get this. Go do that. Let me give you this money." That's what you get. You don't get a hug, right? They have a tendency to shift the blame onto others and not take responsibility. I just said that, but I'm going to repeat it again because that is so true. The empathy part, like, I've never used the word empathy so much until I found out what he was. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I thought I represent Ann. Ann said she liked the shirt. Cute as always. I thought I represent. Let me tell y'all something, since it's just us girls here right now. Let me tell y'all something. At my big age, and for those of y'all that know, y'all know. It's very important. It's very important to feel good about yourself. I don't care what you have to do. Do that, right? It's very important that you have confidence, that you exude confidence, right? Did you? That you exude confidence, right? Ann said she had her t-shirt on last week. Ann is one of the original Jack Squad members. That you exude confidence, right? So even on the days that I don't feel, I might be, I don't want to use depressed, but I might be a little saddened or depressed about whatever's going on. I have to put myself together. That's a struggle within itself if you ain't feeling good. But today I feel good, motherfucker, right? Because the sun's shining. I told y'all I had to leave Cleveland because of amongst other things, the weather and the crime and stuff like that. But I had a seasonal affective disorder. Now I ain't went to no doctor. I just knew that's what it was after somebody told me that sounds like what I have. The cloudy skies messes me up. And we've been cloudy here for a few days, right? The sun helps me. The sun, I need sun. I need sun. It's a lonely life to have money and things and no deep connections with you. It is very much so. Very much so, right? It was, see, I was at home. You know, I had lots of friends. I had my family. I always find me. See, this is the reason why it didn't really bother me and hit me at first, because I had things to do. I had things to do. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, he would pretend like he was interested in what I was interested in, and we would do things together. But after a few years, when I realized he was going to ruin my good time, I stopped doing things with him. And we live two totally separate, different lives, right? It is very important. Yeah, it is. It's a beautiful sunny day my way. Yeah, it's sunny here today, right? That's probably why I feel good. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that I've learned over the years, especially since I've had my YouTube channel and moved and left the comforts of home in Cleveland, Ohio, that I wish I had a knew some years ago, right? Because now I feel like I'm in a race with myself. And that's because of my age. I feel like I'm in a race with myself to further enjoy my life. Like, I enjoyed my life, but I have a newfound, I don't even know what the word is, a newfound something that I want to enjoy, right? A newfound something. I don't know what it is. Like, I'm just all about myself right now. I have to be. That's what it is. I am the same way with the sun. Yeah, the sun is very, very important. Like, that's why initially I was like, shit, I'm going to go to Florida. I have to be. The sun is very important for me because it sets the tone, do something to my body and my brain and all of that, right? Yeah. Now, it says pile all of this on top of a person with major insecurity issues. And for the most part, narcissists are insecure people. They're insecure people, and they need you. You are the supply to make them feel good. They need you. Like I need the sun, like we need the sun. They need you. They need a person. That is their supply to make them feel good. And then you've got a narcissist. Now, someone asked a question to this psychologist, whatever, says, it says, can a narcissist be a good partner? Can a narcissist be a good partner? They said no. Absolutely not. They don't make good partners. Not if you want love. Not if you want regular in your life. If you want irregular, then go ahead. I need to live in the tropics where sunny rain. Yeah, I do too. They will not make a good partner. They know what they are not. And then when I look at people's comments, and they say their mom and their dad and all these people, I'm like, my God, how did you manage? Because one was enough. One was enough. I've also had comments from ladies who say they've been in a couple of narcissistic relationships. I think after you've been in one, you see it and you know it, and for me, I won't ever get in that again. If I probably come across some dudes out, but if I hear your conversation, that's why I have deep conversations. If I hear your conversation and it seems to be going that way, and I can tell you gaslight me, and I'm gonna talk about gaslighting tomorrow and the next day, and it seems like you gaslighting me, I don't want it. I don't want it. Because that's not gonna because I know, but when I didn't know and I got gaslit, it would make me furious, and then that's how the arguments start. So you're gonna be forever in a toxic, you're gonna be forever arguing in a toxic relationship, because that's what they do. They gaslight you, right? That's their thing. I wonder, can two narcissists be great together? I don't know if they can feed off of each other. I don't know. I think they need they need to be in a relationship with a non-narcissistic person because that's their play. That's their supply. I don't know. And maybe, now this thought just came in my head, that is why Mel and Martell couldn't make it, because I believe she's a narcissist, and he is too, right? That's why they couldn't make it. That's why he went and got somebody like Ariana. Because usually they get, from what I see, like my ex did the same thing. He went and got someone totally not like me. Totally not like me, non-resistant, didn't have nothing going on in life, because they like them. Because they like to feel like the big daddy. Nothing going on in life at all, and they needed him to live, so to speak, right? They need him to live. So, and they're not going to have no qualms about what they do to him. Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all this. I don't know what happened, but I had the code to his voicemail for years, right? He never knew it. And I don't know how I got it, but I got the code. I could listen from my phone as well. I don't know how I did that. But anyway, I did it until I got, it wasn't nothing, just, I didn't care, right? But the girl that he was, the lady that he was cheating with, right, was a real bum, right? And he did something to her. And I want to know what he did, but the voicemail she left on his, the message she left on his voicemail was, I'm glad I managed to get out. Like she was in a life-altering, death-defying situation, right? She still kept messing with him, still messing with him probably now, right? But I often wonder, what did he do to her? Because he was never violent with me. He was just verbal and mentally abusive. But he was never violent, right? I wonder to this day, what did he do to her? She left a horrible message, right? Like he had did something to her. But of course I can't ask him because I ain't got no business knowing that, right? Uh, uh, Mel is a narcissist. Yeah, I think she is. That's why they couldn't. Because you're gonna bump heads with a narcissist unless you're being what they need you to be. Totally passive, totally agreeing, totally fulfilling all of their needs. That means you don't have no needs of your own because they don't want you to have none of your own. So you have to be totally. And this person that he picked, she was bummed. She was homeless. Damn, she was homeless at one point, right? And he moved her. Now these are things he don't know that I know. He moved her into his house, and it lasted about 2 weeks. It lasted about 2 weeks, and one of his relatives had told me this, and they also told me he had to put her out. He couldn't take her in his house. Now he was something else. He was something else, and he couldn't take her in his house. He still messed with her, but she had to get out of his house. Ain't that something? If you my man, and I'm homeless, and you put me out, do I still mess with you? No. I'm just saying. And I know from someone else that she lived in a house that was near mine, actually. She lived in a house, but it looked like the way they described it looked like she was a hoarder, or the house was abandoned. It was not a good living situation, right? And he didn't really ever go over there. He would, go take her something or something. He didn't spend no time in there, right? Mm-hmm. It says having parents who are either excessively adoring. This is the reason. Now, let me tell y'all this. They said, how are people born narcissists, or do they develop this personality trait over time? Now, what I have been reading had said that they believe it's environmental, right? Like whatever you've been through. And they didn't think it was necessarily genetic, right? Well, this person says, if you have parents who are either excessively adoring or excessively critical, right? So they were always trying to please, or something like that. And you can inherit it through genes. Now that's the first time I've ever seen that, right? But it says there's an issue, and this is what I truly believe. There's an issue with their neurobiology. That is the connection between the brain, the body, and the thinking process. That just means they're just batshit crazy. And they don't really know what it is. They ain't did no scientific nothing about it. Because like I said, there are other mental disorders where they have a pill to fix you. And as long as you take your pill, you'll be fixed, right? They don't have nothing for narcissism. They ain't got nothing. They ain't thought about it. They ain't figured it out. They ain't working on it. They don't care, right? It says being warm and loving at the beginning of a relationship. In turn, they'll have someone who adores them, which is exactly the goal. They want somebody to look at them all dreamy-eyed like you is him. And then once they get you to that place, and then they switch on you, you're in such a shock, like, what just happened? What just happened? It's very much a shock when they switch on you. And then they go in and out. They go in and out, they do wonderful, wonderful things, and then they'll switch on you and then turn into something bad and ugly. That's why I say it's evil. And the experts say they're demonic as well. Right? We'll get into that a little later. What I want to speak on today is We have to, and I'm sure none of my girls in the Jack Squad right here do this, but maybe we have been guilty of this in the past. But we, and I say we, as women as a whole, have to stop chasing men. We have to let them pursue us, right? Because that's the natural order of things. Um, we have to stop settling for something when we know it ain't right. When you see them red flags, don't ignore them. Do not ignore them. When you, I was guilty of that. I was guilty of that. I remember it was the first, within the first 90 days in. I don't know why I said this, why I asked this question. I don't know if anything particular had happened. I might have just been asking the question because I was so goo goo gaga at this point, right? And I was at his home one of the mornings, one of them days, he would ask my son, can your mama spend the night with me? And I had spent the night. And he said, I asked him, is there any room for anybody else? Because I'm like, this is some good shit here. I'm trying to see where I fit into this, right? And I asked him, was there any room for somebody to get in between us? And you know what he said? He said he did like this and shook his head. Now, at that point, I should have asked questions, and maybe I did. But I also should have backed away from him and let him go ahead and do what you're going to do. I did not. I did not. That was my fault. That was the first red flag that I remembered, and that's why I remembered, because it stuck with me. Stuck with me. I should have pulled back and not have been so accessible, because I was very accessible to him. Very accessible, right? I should have pulled back. I should have pulled back. Not that I was chasing him, because he definitely was, pursuing me. But that's what they do initially. But as women as a whole, we have to stop pursuing. We have to start paying more attention and have more conversations. Quit looking at little Billy Ray because he cute. He got a nice car. He got a good job. He got a nice house. All that superficial shit, and dig deep and see who the person is. Let's see what their character is about. Who are they, really? And start having those conversations, the hard ones as well as the easy ones. Start having hard conversations. Start asking about different scenarios. Ask what they think about this and what they think about that, right? Because this is how you get to know. And they can lie. Yes, they can lie. But if you pay attention to the reaction or pay attention to the way that they lie, we have to start paying attention instead of just being so enamored with what we see, right? What's before us, we got to dig a little deeper, right? Because I'm telling you, there was red flags. I remember, and like I said, in my book, it would be in great detail. Not this one, the third one, right? The third one would be all about him. I remember going places with him and feeling alone. Now, that ain't some bullshit, right? We all dressed up. We all dutied up. We all dutied up. And I feel like I'm alone. You ain't got no business feeling alone when you with your man. Okay? Okay? And he would do that often when I was in his circle of friends, which I was a lot, right? Which I was a lot. I was in his circle a lot. I was in his circle a lot. Yeah. I was in his circle a lot. So if someone's not giving you what you need to cut it. And if you have a conversation, and I remember having conversations, but those are the kind of conversations he could not have. Narcissists can't have those deep conversations. That men are they narcissists? No, I think they could be. They could be in addition to, but I think they're just greedy. I think they're just greedy, and they want someone to go along, with what their program is. I wouldn't, they could be. They could be. That would be a lot. Like, I don't understand polygamy. I don't understand polygamy, even though people say it's not about sex. It's about, I don't know what it's about. I guess putting your money together. But my brain does not work. And as you giving love and attention to another woman, how do you form yourself to accept that and be cool with that woman that y'all share? The woman that's sharing your man, what you share your man with. Like, that's all too much for my brain to accept. That's way too big for me. That's way too big for me. I don't understand polygamy. And I've had guys approach me that were polygamous. They was into that. I don't understand that. I used to chase back in the day. I don't know about anyone else, but I'm seeing that men don't pursue. They don't. We've been talking about it. They don't. They don't. They do not, and they do not. And grown niggas our big age ain't pursuing. Y'all know better. Women like they used to. They are not consistent nor persistent. Nope. Nope. That's what it is across the board. And I've been in 3 different cities or states or somewhere. States, yeah. Been in 3 different states. Men is saying that polygamy is biblical. If you Jesus, if you I got an uncle who's a Sunni Muslim, right? He's not with the nation, he's Sunni. I don't know how the nation believes, but Sunni Muslim believe you can have more than one wife. But the key to that is you have to be able to take care of your wives. Now, if you got 10 of them, you got to be able to take care of 10 of them. If you got 2 of them, you got to be able to take care of 2 of them, right? So most of them only have the one because they can't take care of more than one. When I was growing up, my dad told me the only thing I should ever chase is my pets or my child whenever that day comes. Yeah, you shouldn't chase, but I'm going to tell you, like I told y'all before, I seen it change in Cleveland, Ohio, right? And Cincinnati. I live in Cincinnati as well in the 90s. That's when I saw it changing in the 90s, right? So women started not making a man do anything to have you. Not requiring that you date, not requiring that you court, not requiring that you have a car, not requiring that you have a job, not requiring that you do anything nice for me. Just come on in here and be a man to me. I don't even know how that works, but that's what I started seeing in the 90s. Now, I've been in a relationship for a long time and, doing my thing. And when I come out of it, this is the result of that. This is the result of that. Ain't nobody. So these men have been dating women. I ain't even call it dating. Hanging out, going with women who didn't require anything to get them. I ain't gotta do nothing to get you. You don't want shit. You just want that nigga to come over there and fuck you and be with you and say I got a man, right? Not requiring anything. Not requiring you let a man live in your house, eat your kids' snacks, and not pay no bills, and drive your car while you at work. That's what started this, in my opinion. Giving that man your car and let him drop you off at work while he go and see Susie and Shirley and anybody else he want to see, right? And in the meantime, your kids at school, he eating up all the kids' snacks. That's what happened. Now you have the result. Generation later, 20 years later, this is the result of that. Women, and I say it's our fault. Because how did they get like that? If we make them do what they need to do and date us and court us and treat us nicely and pursue us to have us, right? We the prize. Until a man start having a baby, I'm the goddamn prize. Period. I said that. God put man here first. And God gave us. He gave us to the man, right? We come from Israel. They don't come from Mars. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, their job is to protect us and see to us. That's their job. Because God said that, not me. That's what God said. Right? It's the old heads. It is. And listen, Ann is my friend, a very beautiful woman. Established. She's single just like me. All my friends is. Shit, except all my close friends, right? And my not so close friends too. And they doing well for themselves. Hey, Angel. The woman proposing to the man, and the man. Yes, I did see that video. So Angel's talking about a video. I don't know where I saw it. I don't know if it was on IG or TikTok. You talking about she looked like she was Latina or something, or African, because she had an accent, right? Because he looked dark, so they might have been African, right? So there's a woman who set up this elaborate family situation, called her family and friends over to the house. I'm going to say they at the house, right? They were in the kitchen, looked like. And she was saying, she was pouring out her love to the man, right? And had kids right there. And had kids had on T-shirts. Is that the one you talking about, Angel? Kids had on T-shirts. I want to say the T-shirt said, "Will you marry me?" Each child had a portion of that sentence, right? And he was standing up against the kitchen sink looking like, hell no. His body language was all, I'm telling you, when they start twisting up, pay attention to the body language when you're talking to somebody, right? Especially a man. Body language will tell you everything you need to know. He was looking very uncomfortable and very hell no-ish, right? And she was pouring out her soul. And then I think she did, the kid said, had shirts on, will you marry me? Now, maybe she had been with this man and maybe them was his kids, right? Matter of fact, one of the kids said, called him Uncle Daddy, something like that, right? That was in the comments or something, right? Um, but there's several, okay. And so he then said, as a man, I would have to ask you. Now, I don't think he asked her. Did he ask her, Angel? I don't believe he asked her. He was him, a lot of hemming and hawing and everything. It was a lot of that, right? It was very uncomfortable for myself to watch, right? Um, uh, you don't ask a man to marry you. I watched the show, and I'm gonna tell you, I got to go back on my YouTube and figure out what the name of the show is. Look at my history. It might be called Crime Network or TV and Crime, something like that, right? They got a little 20, 30, 40-minute snippets of a horrific crime. This girl, I saw this last week too. This girl, I might have sent it to some of y'all. This girl had built herself up, pulled herself up from her bootstraps, had a little boutique. She used to sell her clothes out the house. Then she got her brick and mortar, and she was getting good money. She had a boutique making lots of money. Got with a bum, which is why women do that, I don't know. A straight bum. He had nothing to bring to the table at all, right? They say she bought his clothes, she bought everything. She did everything for him. She treated him nicely. She took him on trips somewhere the nigga never would have been, right? And he unalived her. But she no longer, she married him too. He went to jail, he went to prison. I don't know, he didn't stay long, a year, so I don't know how long he stayed. He went to prison. And matter of fact, I'm gonna tell y'all what it is. I sent it to my friend. That's what I sent it to. Hold on, I'm gonna tell y'all what the name of this is, so y'all can watch. Cause it just happened. It just happened. It just happened a few months back, and I went on her page and and stuff. Hold on. I'm gonna tell y'all what the name of it is. This program. They show a lot of stuff like this. Okay, here it is. It's called. Oh, he was a narcissist too. Speaking of, hold on, I don't wanna. I gotta turn it down so I can't hear. Cause y'all need to watch this. It's so sad. Black girl. The name of the show is. I can't see the name of the show. Hold on. Why can't I see the name of the show? It's on YouTube. It's called Crimes. Let me see if I can make it blow it up. Dang. But it's called She Married a Covert Narcissist. He was a narcissist, this person that unalived her. The name of the show. Hey, why can't I make it go big? Here we go. Got it. All right. The name of this series on YouTube is called Horrendous Crimes. That's what it's called. Horrendous Crimes. And she's one of the latest ones they talked about. This girl, she married a covert narcissist, right? And that's the name of this specific episode. She married a covert narcissist, right? She bought everything. She did everything for this man. Everything. Everything. He was not required to do a thing. That is what we must stop. I don't care if you got all the money or not. That is what must stop. If he have to go cut grass every day, he must bring something to the table. He brought nothing. And when she was tired of him and realized what was going on, he unalived her. He unalived her, right? Which is the danger of it. He told her to meet him somewhere instead, and she went and met him and got in his car, and he unalived her. We must stop that. We may not see it change, Ann, in our time, but we must stop the no requirements to have a man. We got to stop that. Got to stop that. We got to stop chasing. Like I told y'all yesterday about Simone Biles, she chased him. And you heard what he said. He said he was the prize. He was the prize. And sat there in front of them other men that are older than him, and they didn't say, whoa, brother. Hold on, young brother. And, they egged it on, right? This is the mind frame of men these days, that they are the prize. I told you, a guy told me not long ago that after he took me out 2 times, he didn't say a lot of times. He said 2 times. That 3rd time, I need to be taking him out. Needless to say, we never had another conversation again, right? That was so embarrassing for her to have the kids. Yeah, in that proposal. Yeah. We have to stop doing those things and understand our worth, what we bring to the table, what we are an addition to a man. We are a helpmate. That's what the Bible says. We are a helpmate. So if you want me to be your helpmate and be all the things to you, then you need to show me who you are for me to do that. Period. Right? But see, that's when you get hooked up with a narcissist. They do all these things. They pursue you. This is how you get hooked up with them. They pursue you. They're nice to you. Right? They always want your attention. But that's because they're reeling you in. They're reeling you in so that you can be all things to them. Right? And that's why you don't know what it is until after you even got in it and been in it for a while. And so me, I know y'all probably said, well, Jackie, why'd you stay in that? Well, I didn't know what he was. And I thought, I'm a church girl. Now, I believe in God. That God was going to change him. I know that sounds stupid. But that's what I thought. And that's why it took me 2 years to tell my story. Right? I thought God was going to change him. You know, we would pray and everything together, child. He didn't pray. He would hold my hand. I prayed. He didn't pray. That's another thing. Your man must be able to pray over you and with you. Like I said, there was a lot of red flags I totally ignored for the sake of money. Money is evil, y'all. It's evil, right? It says, all the great traits you fail for won't mean much if a narcissistic partner is routinely putting you down in order to feel better. That's what they do. They put you down, right? Now, like I said, I don't remember. I don't remember him too much putting me down, but he definitely didn't pump me up. You know, he didn't pump me up. Just like y'all say, oh, Jackie, you look nice today. He would never, ever say that. I can go right outside the door and look, he'd be like, you look nice, ma'am. He would never say that. He would say, I see you. If he said something, I see you. Or, all right now. The hell is all right now, right? He hadn't have none of that in him. He had none of that, what I needed inside of him. He had none of that. None of that. They don't have any of that. Any of that. Like I like to think that I'm well versed, but this relationship and this experience showed me that I was not as well versed on life as I thought that I was, because this would have never happened to me, right? And as street savvy as I am, I didn't see this. I didn't know nothing about this. I know now. And now you can say a trigger word and I'm like, and maybe I have counted somebody out. I doubt it though. Because I see so clearly now. When I'm talking to dudes, I see so clearly now. It's like I got on bifocals. I could see inside their head. I see so clearly now. You know, so and I used to, when I first got single, I used to go out. I used to date. I was a serial dater. I don't know if I told y'all that. I was a serial dater. Anybody ask me out, I go, yay! That got sickening because it ain't going to lead to nothing, right? It's not going to lead to anything. So ain't no need. And I never went out. I went out with one dude twice, and that was only because he was a manager at a restaurant, and so he invited me to lunch after the first date, the first date was a movie date. Okay, cool. Second date, he invited me to lunch. So I'm thinking he gonna sit down and have lunch with me. He on the lunch break. Child, he took my order and got the food and brought it out. I sat there with myself. Listen, yeah, all right now. It'll be all right now. If it was anything, all right now. Or I see you. I see you was more of his favorite. I see you. That means I see you, and now if you ain't strong and you're not secure in yourself, all of that could break you and crack you into pieces, right? But I knew who I was. I knew the fuck I was looking good. So if you don't, just because you don't say it, don't mean I don't know it, right? This man I watch also on YouTube is telling me that they are the prize at the what? Stop pampering women. He said that we're modern women and we need to be put in our place. He said a woman can't tell him nothing. What he look like? He ugly? Is he ugly? A lot of times all the modern women talking men is ugly. I told y'all when I used to watch Kevin Samuels, and somebody would make a stupid comment, a man, I would go to his page if it was open. A lot of times their pages is private, right? I don't like people who got private pages. Why is it private? You publicly talking, let me publicly see you, right? But if they wasn't private, they would be some odd looking creature, And I think that a lot of this comes from men who are, let me tell you, because y'all know I do psychology on the side. I think a lot of this stuff, this rhetoric for men about marketing women is because nobody ever chose them. These are the guys nobody ever chose, and now they're angry. Now they're angry and they hate all women and they gonna make us pay, right? These are the guys that didn't even have enough game or was ugly or didn't have whatever it took to get a woman. Hey, Kay, they didn't have whatever it took to get a woman. These are these guys, right? That's what I think for the most part. They didn't have enough game. If they decent looking, they didn't have enough game to get a woman, or they've been rejected. These are the rejects. That's what I think. These are the rejects. And I come to that conclusion after looking at Kevin Samuels' comments. And maybe somebody else that talk and think just like him, right? He's a handsome... I think I've run across him. I think I've run across him before. The Israelite dude. Israelites are something, the breed of their own. They something else. I know they say that the Israelites is the original people or something like that. Because I'm trying to think where I used to see them at. They used to congregate somewhere. Had to have been in Cleveland somewhere. I used to see them. You're right. We are not valued because we don't value ourselves. I used to serial date too, but the older I got, the older that scene got our value. Yeah, I was a serial date because I thought it was what you're supposed to do. Because before I got with my ex, even with him, I never dated. If you like me, I like you. Cool, we together. You know, so I was excited to enter this world of dating, right? Because, you know, if I meet somebody and I like you and you like me, then I'm all into you. I don't even see other niggas. I never dated like I'm going to date Bob and Tom. I never did that. I never do that, right? Are you watching the new season? All the men are terrible. No, and let me tell you why I don't watch Ready to Love. Something about Ready to Love I didn't like. I've seen a few episodes way back when it started, and I might have seen a few episodes of that girl and that guy and that girl that's on... They on Love and Marriage DC. But I never really watched it. It's something about those dating shows, Love Out and all them, I just don't see. I don't watch. Because it seems like it just seems off to me, right? I didn't watch like Queen's Court with Tamar and them. I might have watched 5 minutes of that. Something about them kind of shows, I don't get it. I don't like or something. I don't know. I might be hating on them or something. I don't know. I just don't like them. They don't get me like other reality shows do. I've watched Ready to Love a time or two, but I don't think I've ever watched the whole season of it, right? And that was way back when it started. It seemed like they rapidly have seasons, though. I don't watch it. And you said they all terrible. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, dudes, you know what gets on my nerves is that dudes my age, which I don't even like dudes my age because they're not active enough for me. I like a man to get active. They kiss too many people. Oh, yeah. Like The Bachelor and stuff. I never really watched that either because everybody's all in love with... How y'all in love with this one person? How is you kissing all these people? And then for The Bachelor, that might have been why I watched a few episodes of Ready to Love, because The Bachelor always be all white and you got one black person in there. Like, I ain't like that, right? But how are you developing feelings for all these people? And I got to compete. That's why I don't watch, because I'm not going to be in competition. I ain't in competition with nobody. Like, if I meet a dude and he got 2 or 3 women he didn't, go ahead on, bro, because I'm not competing with nobody. I ain't competing with nobody for your attention. Hell no. Yeah, I can't watch it. I can't watch it. I can't watch them. You know, I may watch them. If it's a couple on there, everybody talking about, I'll watch it. If y'all find somebody on there I need to watch, I'll watch it. Joy and Cliff, yeah. I might have watched a couple episodes, the ending of that season or something, but I don't really particularly like them. You know, I don't want to be in competition. I think that's why I'm watching, because you shouldn't have to be in competition for this person. Like, if it was a show like Queen's Court, and the reason why I didn't watch Queen's Court, because I know Tamar full of shit and Evelyn full of shit, and Olivia, whatever her name is, ain't really got good sense. That's why I didn't watch. They didn't have the women that I wanted to see on there, right? Yeah, I'm territorial. I ain't getting ready to compete with you about him. And then if I like him and I think he like me, you know, that would set up too many emotions in me. I ain't getting ready to play with myself like that. Hell no. I ain't going to play with myself like that. I'm being there windmilling in my big age. I'm dotting somebody in the eye. You know I like them. Why you go over there and kiss them? And I'm going to tell you a show I did watch, though. What was that show? What was that show? They put them all in one house with Kirk Franklin. Remember I told y'all about that? Now, I did watch that, right? But what happened, I believe they didn't ever say one of them girls had sex with the dude. It was all mad because she spent the night in his room, and she ended up leaving. She was like, she fell back. She was like, I don't want to be in it. And she left on her own, right? But I believe she had already had sex with him. Was like, no. And what do you think about the one guy who was too nervous to even show up? He didn't show up? Didn't show up? See, no. That's another thing. A lot of men are insecure. So the insecurity leads to narcissism, right? A lot of men are just too insecure. To be a man, you got to stand on business, as they say. Stand on the business, right? I'm a bit too serious. I don't know how to play those types of games. Yeah, me either. Me either. I ain't gonna play them. I ain't gonna play them. I'm gonna leave. I ain't gonna play them. By Kurt Franklin, that Kurt Franklin show, I like that, and I watched the whole season of that. And they was in competition, but they would pick up, okay, you got to go home now. You go, they could send them home, right? But I'm not just gonna be in competition because there's somebody gonna come in there with the big giant booty or the BBL. Like here I am, no hips, no booty. I ain't getting ready to be competing with them big booty bitches. It's called. I forgot what it was called. The Kurt Franklin show. Just Google it. It'll tell you what the name of it is. It was dry. It was dry. It was dry. See, what the problem with that show? That girl had no business on there. The girl they picked, she had no business on there. But she ended up not picking nobody. She ended up not picking. I think she felt shame because she kissed dude. I believe they did it. I actually believe they had sex in that room, right? I actually believe they had sex in that room. Anybody that saw that Kurt Franklin dating show, I believe her and dude, because she liked dude. And I think and then she disappeared after they went in the room, and then when somebody found out, right, and told it, then she disappeared for a day or two. Like you didn't have a thick enough skin to be on that show. And then she ended up not picking nobody. And then the dudes that she did pick, like she didn't have a type. If I get on a dating show, I'm gonna request that everybody's tall, black, and handsome. And you ain't gonna give me the little short, light skinned dude. You ain't gonna give me the fat, brown skinned dude. All my dudes gonna be a type, my type, right? And she picked all the people that I'm looking at her like, you like them for real? And then you didn't end up picking nobody because you didn't really like them niggas in the first place. You should have told them, this is what I'm going to need to be on the show. These are the type of dudes I like. Now, a lot of them had good professions and so on and so forth. But, they didn't have they weren't all that attractive like that. You only watched 3 episodes? That's all? Yeah, she ended up not picking nobody. And the guy that she really liked him. And I watched his face. He was shocked. Right? When it be turned to pick who you keeping for this week, she would always pick him last. Why you pick this nigga last when you know you like him? Everybody else in here know you like him. We can see the chemistry. And you took him in the room and closed the door. Right? The One. That's what it was called. The One. Yeah. That's what it was called. Yeah. Dating show from the AT. I did too. I can't remember the name of it. I did too, but I can't remember the name of it. Yeah. So I like some of them and some of them I don't. Just because I ain't competing, and I don't think we should have to compete. You like me or you don't. If I meet a guy, like I said, he got 2, 3 women, I told this dude, you go ahead and be with them. I'm going to step out of the competition. Because I like a man that like me and me only. Pursue me. You can't pursue me, Shirley, and Barbara, because you ain't going to get all of nobody. Yeah, you're not going to get all of nobody. You're not. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to compete with you because you ain't giving me all your time. The man that likes me, I want him to give me all of his time. All of his time. Right? I need all of his time. All of his available time to pursue me. You can't, I'm going to put me on hold, go over there and run around with Shirley. Hell no. And I'm going to sit there and wait? I ain't doing that. We have to know who we is and know your worth. Right? Know your worth. And quit dating. And I'm talking to myself when I'm saying this. Quit dating out of circumstances. Because you need help with this and you want that and this and that. Quit doing that. You end up with the wrong person. Right? You end up with the wrong person. Now, narcissists think they're superior to others. They think they are superior to others. And they want you to be beholden to them. Like, I wouldn't have never made it. They want you to be Marvin said, I never would have made it. You know, if it wasn't for you, where would I be? They are they coming in on the horse. They saving you. They Captain Save a Hope. That's what they are. Right? That's what they are. They're Captain Save a Hope. And if you are let's say you've been through something or you're going through something. I don't know how if they smell you, I don't know how they sense it, but that's who they hone in on. I'm going to check it out. Kirk be acting like he want to date extra women. He's so worldly. Put a Ring on It. Yeah, I did watch Put a Ring on It. Was that in Atlanta? I did. Oh, I like Put a Ring on It. Now, see, that wasn't really a dating show. I like Put a Ring on It. That was, we already together. We're going to see if we're going to get married. I like Put a Ring on It. I liked that show. They ain't came back out with that. I like Put a Ring on It. I forgot all about that. Yeah. Me and my husband watch these shows and analyze them. That's a good thing to do. Now, if I had a dude, that's a good thing to do. I like your husband. I can't wait to meet your husband. I like your husband. That's a good thing to do. You know why? Because that keeps, so you see where y'all don't go down them paths, right? One dude I still follow, he's still with his girl, the guy that was Rick Ross Security, or Rick Ross something. I forget his name, Big somebody, something. Him and that girl is still together, right? I don't know if he changed his ways, but they still together. I follow him on IG. But, Put a Ring on It. I did like Put a Ring on It. I need them to come back because what happened was they had 3 seasons of it, and I started watching it the second season, and y'all started telling me the first season was the good one. Hollywood, I followed him. I think his name was Hollywood, right? And that girl didn't like him, and he with somebody else. The person he got with after her, he's still with too because I follow him on IG. The single and free and going to be intentional of choosing my king. Yeah, you have to be. You have to be. You can't be willy-nilly about it, and you gotta talk. Communication is key for me, and I say that because now I talk to dudes. Years before, prior to my ex, I didn't have conversations with dudes. Surface conversations. You like me, I like you. What you like to do? Let's go here. Let's do that. And boom, boom, we together. But learning how their character, learning what they think about life. Do they vote? Do they know anything about the social ills of the world? Have they ever did this? Have they ever did that? You got to have conversations with dudes, right? So you don't end up with the narcissist. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure it's genuine. Like I said yesterday, because you want to know if love bombing, if it's too much too soon, that ain't cool. Unless he's independently wealthy, too much too soon ain't cool. Because they missing the steps, right? You can't miss the steps. And in reality, a person that's really trying to get to know you is going to be consistent. He's going to be persistent and consistent in what he does. He's not going to just boom it all at you like that, right? Not going to boom it all at you. When they boom it all at you, they have an ulterior motive. They have an ulterior motive, right? And they want to get you. They want to get you in their circle. Yeah, remember them, Hollywood? He was such a cute, handsome guy. And he really loved her, and she didn't like him. And then all seasons were good. All 3. I don't know it was 2 or 3 seasons, but they were all good. Because you all the ones told me to go back and watch the first season. And I did that. And I wish he would come back. And see, what happened was, I don't know if something probably happened with the show because they changed the therapist. Remember that last season they changed the therapist. To me, she wasn't as good as the therapist they had the first 2 seasons, right? She was just a little different or something. Yeah, I wish they would bring that back. Put a Ring on It. Yeah, Put a Ring on It. I wish they would bring that back because I like that show. I like that show because they would let them go date somebody else. Now that I could not do. I don't know a black man that I've ever been with that would go on that show and allow me to date somebody else, right? But that take a lot. That take guts. That take a lot. But we got to know. My main concern is that you have to conversate and have good communication. If a man don't want to communicate with you, see, if I'd have knew what I knew now, me and him would have never been together. My life would have been changed and altered all the way different because he didn't want to have those long, good conversations. I would talk and he would listen, but he didn't want to have those conversations that you need to have when you're trying to find somebody to date or somebody to be with. It's an interview process. It's a fucking interview process. You must ask the questions. You interview for your job. You got to interview for your man. Hollywood, his wife. Oh, they married now? Are they married now? See, he don't come down my timeline. I follow so many people. Are they married now? I got to Google them. He married her, huh? Good for him, because he was such a nice, handsome guy. You know, that combination don't usually come around like that, right? That he really, really wants you. He really, really looks good. He really, really working his job or whatever he was doing. And she didn't want him. She didn't want him. And I felt sorry for him, you know? That's why I started following him on IG, but he don't come down my timeline. I'm going to have to look him up. Okay, they done got married. Ain't that nice? They done got married. I like that. Yeah, we got to, I'm hungry now. We have to know who we are. She wasn't as good, that second therapist. We have to know who we are, know what we want. Now, let me tell y'all something. At my big age, I didn't really know what I wanted when I got with my ex. That's a problem I think a lot of women have. We don't really know what we want. We just, when it comes to us, if we like it, cool, we with it. Now I know what I want, and I know what it want when I look at it. That's why I've been single for so long. I ain't seen it. I don't know it. I ain't met it. I know what I want, and I know what it looks like when I see it. You know, as far as his character, his insides. I ain't worried about your outsides too much. I do want to be able to look at you, but it's your insides and how you treat me. And do you adore me? Do you adore me? Do you really want me? And that's the problem I have. A lot of men don't really want me. They just want to have sex with me. They just lusting. They ain't liking. They ain't wanting. They lusting. What do I want? I want a man of good sound character. I want a man that's going to be respectful, loyal, honest, and fun. And have some spirituality to him. You know what I'm saying? But he got to be respectful and loyal and honest. You got to be respectful, loyal, and honest, and caring. Non-violent. The list goes on and on. I did have a notebook. I don't even have it no more. It's in my storage. I had a notebook, and I list all the things that I wanted from a man. Right? Ain't nobody never come up close to it. And he stayed showing her body off. Oh, did he? Yeah, I liked Hollywood. I really did. Hollywood, I liked Hollywood. He's a good country boy. I liked Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad he didn't get tarnished by the first one. Because usually when they've been hurt, that's what happens. That's why we got these narcissistic and no good men out here now. Because once they get hurt, they don't try to get fixed. They just go on damaging every woman after that. They damage everybody after. That's why I told you what I believe the catalyst for my narcissist. You know, he was hurt at a very young age by somebody he loved. And I believe every woman after that had to pay for it. Every woman. Right? I mean, that's why he never had no intimate, no deep connection with nobody, and he never brought nobody around his family because he ain't trust him, he ain't like him, and everybody gonna pay. Yeah, everybody's gonna pay for that. Now tonight, y'all know tonight is reality. Let me tell y'all what I just started watching. I'm getting ready to watch it some more. Well, I need to be fit. I take that back. I'm ready to eat and finish. I got this much of editing to do. But I'm gonna watch it later on today. It's Traitors, because they keep talking about it because everybody's on there. And some of my favorite folks is on there. I didn't know my boy, but Johnny Bananas was on there, and CT from the Challenge. Y'all don't probably watch the Challenge. I've been watching the Challenge since 1966, right? Phaedra's on there, Sheree's on there. Some more folks I know from different other reality shows, right? Traitors. I'm on the second episode. Traitors is good. And they say Phaedra is winning. That's why I watched it, right? So I'm going to be watching that. But tonight is Reality Talk. We're going to talk about all things reality tonight at 8. So I hope to see y'all there. Again, I feel very freeing being able to talk about my relationship and narcissism as it pertains to me and other black women. It's a very freeing experience. I was ashamed of it. I told y'all that before. I'm probably going to say that all the time. Because I want whoever watching that don't know me, that just happened to happen on to me, to not be ashamed of what you went through. Don't be ashamed of what you went through. Shit happens, life happens, shit happens, right? Learn from it. Now, the tragedy is if you go through something and you don't learn from it. That's the tragedy. That's the tragedy. Like in my comments, people say they didn't have 2 of them and that you didn't learn from that first one. Because the first one is devastating. It's devastating, right? As strong as I am and as much as shit that I went through, it's devastating, right? Because you know, if you're a good person You don't want to believe. I don't know why something's in my throat. You don't want to believe that somebody is demonic as they are. You just don't want to believe that, especially when they show you a good side. It's like two-faced. It's like, how can you be like two-sided? How can you be so good right now and then turn into something ugly? It's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. That's what it's like. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. That's exactly what it's like. Yeah, that's what it's like. Okay, Queen. See you this evening. So yeah, guys. Thanks for being with me, y'all. I really appreciate y'all. Growing my channel is hard. This ain't easy. This is not easy at all, and it's very time consuming. If you can, cash at me, because I need it. I really, really need it. Cash at me, super chat me, whatever, that's what it's called, super chat. But cash at me, do all the things, because I'm putting in a lot of work, y'all, and my feelings is involved. But I'm better, though. I'm better. It don't affect me like it probably would have a year, 2 or 3 ago, right? So anyway, y'all, I'll see y'all this evening. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all at 8 tonight, Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for your insight and wisdom. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Bye-bye, y'all.